Hey, let me say a pleasant good evening to David John, yes, the chairman of the National Democratic Congress. And as I mentioned before the break, they did meet recently with the UNC NATEX team and delivered a formula for a government of national unity. Pleasant good evening, Mr. John.
Yes, a pleasant good evening, Mikey, and the listening public of Trinidad and Tobago.
And the viewers as well. How are
Yeah.
you? You did meet recently with the UNC NATEX team. Tell us how things worked out.
Well, Mikey, we met with the UNC team, and the environment was rather professional. It was very conducive for dialogue, and the two parties, the NDC and the UNC, were very, very frank and very vocal on the way forward for our government of national unity.
Wonderful. Now, let's get down to the meat of things here. And I like people to understand. I know it's good to have that political aspiration. It is good to serve. You know, you're called upon to serve. You put yourself out to serve. But remember, there are three key fundamentals to every election campaign. And that is timing, message, and money. Those are the three fundamentals. You cannot get away from that. So, do you believe that the timing is right for the NDC to come out and be a part of a national unity government? Do you believe that the message that you're bringing is one that is valid and meaningful to the people of this country? And third but not least, do you have the finance or financial backing to make this a reality?
Okay, well, Mikey, first of all, I just want to give a historical view of the NDC and the call for government of national unity. The NDC was born out of the Grassroots Foundation. Right. In 2009, the Grassroots Foundation started to have unity talks with the UNC, the COP, and the NAR. As a matter of fact, Mikey, that is how I met you. Because I met you with Sharon Gopal McNichols, and she was representing the COP at the time, and the discussion started. But then came 2010, and with the Cameramania, and the talks stopped because of the partnership going into government and so forth. But we approached the UNC again, and we presented a formula for a government of national unity. I think I submitted a copy to you, and Mikey is very straightforward, it's firm, but we are sure that if it is adhered to, if it's tweeted and whatever, but if it's adhered to, we will definitely have a strong coalition, a strong government of national unity that will rid us of this divisive politics that we have been experiencing for over 68 years.
All right. One of the parts of the formula here I want to read for the general public. One, as we bring the parties together with their individual political views, there will be need for a code of ethics so that every party will be held to its tenets and stand unified like a tree with different branches, but with each branch bearing the same fruit, moving forward in unity despite our diversity. Is it a matter of keeping your identity, although being part of a coalition or whatever the alliance or arrangement?
Well, that is what a government of national unity is about. Mikey, in 1977, when the Hugh Whidden Commission presented the report to Dr. Williams, he tore it up. He tore it up and said it's like a dagger in the back of the PLM because the commission recommended proportional representation where no one will be left behind.
All right. Number two, all parties must come together to form the next government with mutual respect for each other, regardless of the size of its membership. Let's look at this one here. Coming together regardless of the size of its membership. Now, bear in mind that you're going to be a part of something where a lot of legwork, a lot of the, as we say here, the bullwork, the hard work would have been done. So the question has to be, and this is going to be directed to you, of course, what are you bringing to the table?
Okay, Mikey, First of all, we are working assiduously in 3 constituencies. We are not stretching ourselves because we realize that we are a small fish in a large pond. And because of this, we are concentrating on 3 constituencies. For certain reasons, I don't want to mention these constituencies at this point in time. But we are targeting 3 constituencies, and we are working assiduously. We are presenting to the coalition solid candidates for those 3 constituencies, solid candidates, and obviously we, the NDC, will be funding our campaign.
All right, so you covered that aspect of the finance.
Yeah.
All right, and you believe that the timing is right?
The timing definitely is right, because first to begin, Mikey, you, as an agriculturist, you need to water the garden before you plant. And what we are doing now, we are watering the ground so that after Easter, when we hit the road, we're going to be actually going to people physically and interacting with them so that people will understand the whole philosophy behind the NDC and the call for a government of national unity.
All right, then message. Here we've reached to the point of message. You said you've covered finance. You believe that the timing is right. You want to be a part of this agreement, alliance, however it's defined. You want to hold on to your identity. You believe that is right. You can't give up on that. Then the message, because when you approach people and the message is, listen, we're going to make inroads where perhaps the people that we're involved with may not be able to make those inroads. But bear in mind, before Kamla Persad-Bissessar, for example, let's say NITCO, before Kamla Persad-Bissessar came into government, NITCO only had about listed 10 contractors on their list. Coming in, she opened the door to allow everyone with the entrepreneurial spirit who can come, register, get involved, be a part of it, help out in the community. Now, taking that in consideration, what inroads do you expect to make and open up if it is that Kamla Persad-Bissessar has already connected with those same constituencies and the East-West corridor?
Okay, so Mikey, we're speaking about message.
Well, the message has to be there, yeah. And this message, of course, is what the electorate is going to gravitate to. So
Exactly.
what is going to stand out from the fact that the UNC has already made inroads where they're no longer even defined as an East Indian party, but a party for all across the corridor and wherever the geographical locations are set up for the electorate? What message will you be bringing then for the electorate to gravitate to you that may be differ, that you keep your identity?
Okay, so the NDC is firm on proportional representation, heavy and firm on constitutional reform. We are saying that as far as constitutional reform is concerned, we're saying that since 1976 we have become a republic, and yet we have a president that is a ceremonial president for all those years. What we say now, and Basil Panle, before he died, he espoused, what we are saying is that let the president be elected by the people, and let us have an elected president instead of a ceremonial president, so that in so doing, no merit list could be intercepted, because the role of the president will be far different from this president that we have now, just being ceremonial.
So what I gather from you in that message is that basically you are going to make constitutional reform and whatever amendments a priority, and your main goal here, objective, is to empower those people who were necessarily the grassroots or whatever that need empowering. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely, and that could only come through proportional representation, meaning there's a common saying that no one will be left behind. But in real terms, unless there is proportional representation, that statement is just a farce. So, right. Mikey, what the NDC is saying is that put into the Constitution proportional representation. And another thing, what we are saying too is to empower people. As far as serious national issues are concerned, let there be referendum in our constitution so people can take a decision. For instance, like the closing down of Petrotrin, you and I didn't have a part to say in it. But if we had the power, if we had the power, then through referendum, then we would have been able to have a say in the closing down of Petrotrin or not.
Let me ask you quickly before we wrap up. Give me 3 things that the NDC would like to accomplish in the first 100 working days of being part of this special arrangement.
Okay, so the labor, and we believe that in the coalition there should be a aspect of labor in the coalition, so that people that are jobless could be able to get employment, because labor plays a very important part in our economy, and yet the composition of the cabinet, labor is absent. What we're saying is this, that labor and business should be part of the cabinet so that people could be represented at the highest level.
All right, so you're saying in the first 100 working days, those folks who are unemployed should be given some sort of opportunity or something that they can be employed. Is that what you're saying? There's going to be a policy for that?
Yes.
Right, second policy.
The second policy.
Yeah, anything that you'll have to think of, I need 3, so just let me know. You said labor, as far as employment, what else would you want to accomplish in the first 100 days?
Yes. Apart from labor and business, what we want is that in the first 100 days, we want constitution reform in the simplest manner. So what we're talking about is simple, low-hanging fruits. Policies like 2 terms for a prime minister, 6 dates for elections, and that could be done in the first 100 days.
All right, so basically you're making that the priority, if you're campaigning on that, you want to have that delivered in your first 100 days of business. All right.
Yes.
Our time is up, but give us your closing comments. Go right ahead. The NDC, when is your first cottage meeting? Quickly, go ahead.
Well, Mikey, after the Easter, we will be having our first cottage meeting in Choco. We haven't set the date exactly, but we'll be having our first cottage meeting in Choco. And I'm telling you, we have people on the ground ready to roll and ready to go ahead with our program.
All right. We'll be keeping an eye on you here on the Observer after the Easter. I'm going to have you back on and tell us exactly what has been developing and as you move forward with the NDC. Wish you all the best of luck. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have all these components on board to make sure that we have a better Trinidad and Tobago. I want to thank you so much, David John, for taking time out and linking with us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.